Hey everybody, this is Melina from ScrapbookingwithME.com and me, Crafty Scrapper, here on YouTube and Instagram. Today we are going to make some book page window pockets, and you will need book page and you will need some vellum. I have the frosty, real thin vellum, and some glue. And then if you want to sew, you can. Sewing is not something that you have to do on these. I will show you what I would do on them if I didn't sew. But on these two samples that I made, I did sew on them. And we're going to make these two different ways. The first way is we're folding over and attaching the vellum on the inside. And then I have sewn around just the very edge here. And then I have this little notch on the vellum, and I didn't ink the vellum on this one at all. And it's got all kinds of little goodies, Tim Holtz stuff, down in the pocket. And I just adorned it with a couple of die cuts, and then I rolled up some cheesecloth and put that there, and then a little Tracy Fox number label on there. And that's as easy as it is. You can attach this into a journal, and you can attach it in like, let me get that moved around, like this, like in the middle of your page, and just attach it on, you know, three sides, and then you can have an extra tuck back here. Or you can just attach it all the way down. You can also put it on the edge, attach it on the edge, and use it, just do two sides and use it as a little tuck. That's a cute idea too. But these are so versatile. You can ink the back if you wanted to, add some coffee dyed paper for journaling, and put this down in a pocket, not adhere it at all on the back, and just put it in a pocket somewhere if you wanted to. That's another great way to use it. Let me see if I've got a pocket in here big enough that it could go down in. So you could add it like that to an existing pocket that you have in your journal. Whoopsie. I'm messing this pocket all up by trying to show you how to add it to a pocket. These were our little index folder, or file folder, index, file folder, pocket, blah, something with the fold down on it, from an M Scrapbusters. But that just shows you how you can use those. I was seeing if I had a bigger pocket added to this one yet. I don't. But like here, this is a little tuck. You could always just tuck it in like that. But I would rather have it in like a front or back cover pocket, one that goes straight across, and just add it in like that. Pull it out, and you can do whatever you would like to it, add whatever you would like in the inside, and then you could use the back for journaling too if you wanted to. But the tuck thing is another great idea. This one, there's no folding involved. You just have a piece of book page. You cut your vellum down to size so that you have just a little bit of book page left on the outer corners, and then you adhere it down. And then on this one, like I said, sewed, but you don't have to do that. I inked the edges of my vellum with oxide ink, and I think that helps it stay a little better. The regular distress inks don't stay well for me on vellum, but the oxides tend to, you know, stay really good on the edges of the vellum. I decorated this one with a little, that's a washi sticker, and then just some wadded up thread, and a label from 49 and Market Curator Botanicals collection, and then some collage paper from Tim Holtz back behind that. I thought that one turned out really cute. You pull that out, and that's how your pocket looks. there. And this one would be very easy to add into your journal as a pocket itself, and you could even do another notch here if you wanted to, and have a pocket here, and then have your vellum window pocket in the front too. So let's make some of these. Y'all craft along with me. These little die cuts, I think this one came out of that same 49 and Market die cut set, and we have a couple of those, I think, maybe in the shop. And then those little postcards came from this paper out of the Vintage Memories collection, Die Cuts with a View. We have quite a few of those paper pads in the shop right now, and I love the cut aparts that are in the collection. So when you are choosing a book page for these, it really, this is what I love about this little pocket, this little configuration. It really does not matter what size book page you are pulling from, or what size book you are pulling your book page from. You can size it down however you would like. If you're going to do the folded over pockets, you can leave these edges, and you'll have a little bit wider of a pocket and have a little bit more edging to it. But you can cut them down as small as you want. With these, you can make them skinnier, taller, whatever you would like. On this one, I'm going to trim off quite a bit of that edge where it's so stark white, naked. And then I'm going to even up this edge over here to kind of get it matchy-matchy to the other side. And then I'm going to do this one first for you. So I'm going to cut off this bottom naked space. And this is a tear ruler. I had somebody ask me the last time I used it. I didn't mention what it was. These are tear rulers. There are, I think, 3, that come in the We Are Memory Keepers package. And then the little tool to help in this line too on all 3 of them comes with it. But we always keep these in stock at scrapbookingwithme.com. So, and I always have that linked in my description box below too. Now, we could make a tall one. This could actually go in a page, couldn't it? You would have to have really tall ephemera to put in it. But yes, that could fit in a page. That would be very cute. Like do just a whole page pocket. I like that idea. Let's go ahead and just make a tall one like that. So we're going to make one like this, but tall. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to get my trimmer for the vellum, just so that I can get it pretty straight. And I do not care that this is not straight here at the top. The more kind of wonky the edges are as far as the book page goes, the more handcrafted it looks to me anyway. So what I'm going to do is kind of line up how I want it, and then come along here and put me a little nail mark where I want to trim that. And I can always trim it down more if I need to. Okay, and then I want to come down a little bit from the top, not go all the way. And then I want the number to show below, so I'm going to do me another little fingernail mark and hope that I can see it after I pass it under the protection arm. Okay, then I'm going to put this up against this, and it is, I mean, like really, really good. I like that. I like how it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to round the bottom corners of this vellum. I haven't done any rounding of corners yet. So let's try this. Yeah, my punches don't like vellum at all. When I do the notch, it's crazy. This one does not like it at all. And I've tried the foil and all that to sharpen it. It does not like vellum at all. Look at that. How horrible that looks. I just try to yank it as hard as I can and maybe it'll turn out alright. See? It's okay. I have to get my scissors and kind of fix that jagged edge there. But yeah, I've tried all the sharpening tips and tricks and it still doesn't work. I don't have enough force or something for it to like vellum. Okay, I really like how the rounded edges look. And I think I'm going to leave those edges like that, but I think on the top I'm going to round those also. And I'm going to try this one. Let's see if it will work. I doubt it will do any better than the other one. Nope, it's even worse. I might just have to round these myself. So let's just do a little there and a little, look at there. Okay, and then try this in here on both sides. Oh, that one's not going to go all the way, so we'll see how that looks. I like that though still. Yep, I like that. I like that. Okay, so let's get up our little bits here, and I'm going to use the Walnut Stain Distress Oxide. So I wanted to tell you all that I had a goal set on my Buy Me a Coffee website, and the goal was that I get a nice amplification microphone for my videos, because currently what I'm using is just the built-in mic that's in the camera up there. So it picks up, you know, every little sound anywhere, and then I have to talk pretty loudly most of the time to get it to pick up, and then it just doesn't have, you know, the gains. I don't have any control over the gain of the volume and all that stuff. So I wanted to get a new microphone. And y'all, I met the goal in like a month from y'all's generosity, and the microphone has been ordered, so I'm very excited about that, and I hope that it will improve my YouTube channel even further and help y'all to hear and understand everything. Not that you're having any problems now. I don't really have anybody telling me that, but maybe it'll help with clarity, volume clarity and stuff. So I'm very excited about that, crossing my fingers and praying that it all works out and that it sounds really good for all of y'all. Okay, I'm going to come over as far as I can to cover up most of the wording, and then have that little page number there at the bottom. I love that. Now, on vellum, I am in the minority as far as what I use and what I'm comfortable with using on vellum. I love using double-sided tape. There are not many people that love using double-sided tape, period, much less on vellum. I do, It has always worked for me. When I put it down, I can barely see it myself, so I've never had a problem using double-sided tape. And this is the Scotch brand advanced tape glider, and then I have just generic refills. I don't have the Scotch brand refills in there. And I have this little jewel or big beast listed in my Amazon storefront. I always have that listed in my description box too. So I'm going to place this down, trying to make sure to cover up all of my wording, and that looks pretty good. I'm not too concerned with it getting off a little wonky here and there. I really like that. That is going to hold some really tall ephemera, like some tags. We could make some tags to go in that. Really, really pretty. Now, you can, at this point, start stitching around the edges if you want, or if you are not a stitcher, no worries. I have this Sharpie marker, and this is what I'm going to do to this one. Instead of sewing, I'm going to do a wonky line all the way down, and then I'm going to curve that wonky line and come along the bottom here, and then curve that wonky line again, and then we're not done. We're going to go over it again, and then just trying to go in and out different directions of where we went the first time with that wonky line. So it kind of looks like a messy stitch that we went over a couple of times. That one kind of looks like a lost zigzag stitch there. And see, I love that. And I'm just letting it dry, and it's going to be fine. That is a perfect little finisher for the edge of that. So no need to stitch. You don't have to do any stitching, y'all. Stitching. You can make your own little wonky stitches. And I really like that. I think we need some kind of die cut down here, and maybe a word label of some kind. Maybe. I like that. Not go on my stitches. I'm going to keep it over here so it's not on there. Yep, I like that. And then have some kind of phrase sticker or label or something like that right there. So I got out some word phrases, a printable from Digital Hobby Helper. Says, believe and act as if it were impossible to fail. I love that. So I'm going to ink the edges of this. And most of the time when I'm making ephemera and pockets and pieces to go in my journals, I don't have enough space for something this big. But I like that. And I like that it is the only thing that goes over my faux stitching lines. That's cute. I like it. And you don't have to cover up any of your vellum window if you don't want to. You can leave it and let your tags and ephemera that you put inside of it be, you know, your decoration. You don't even have to decorate the vellum pocket on the outside if you don't want to. So let's put this down here, okay, and then I'm going to add on this washi sticker once I get the backing off. I'm going to come all the way down to the bottom here, and then not cover up my stitching with it on that side. I like that. And then add this on. I'm using my Barely Arts glue in my Sugar Bell bottle today. Both can be bought at ScrapbookingwithMe.com. I love being able to offer all this stuff to y'all, and y'all don't have to go and search and hunt and everything else. I can tell you exactly where you can go get it. Everything that I use, most of the time, everything that I use can be gotten easily. All right, I like that. Very simple decorating there for the front of that. Then, if we had some type of card, that one is too thick, that one is too thick. Let's find some piece of something that can go down in there. Okay, so I'll cut this handmade paper down and cut a piece of the scrapbook paper to go behind it. Getting it good and gluey. Adding that to the front of that. I love having a mat like that, paper showing back behind it. I've always liked that. I like that when I was doing only scrapbooking, and I love it now. I just love that look. And then can put a little label of some kind on it, maybe about there, so it's going to show through that vellum pocket, and then we can put a little piece at the top to be able to pull it like a tag out of its pocket. Don't have to do over the top decorating for stuff. You just add what you would like. Got just a piece of lace that I'm going to loop over the top like that, and I'm going to staple that on with my Tim Holtz tiny attacher, and just try to get it in the middle, but if it's not, I'm not going to be broken up about it. And then I'm going to crisscross my staples like that. Cute. And then add this. Look what I did. I put the loop at the wrong end. I sure did. Let's tear that off and add some liquid glue. You know what? Who cares? I'll just flip it over, add it there, get this glue off here, and I'm good with turning it over and using this as the top. I should have looked better, shouldn't I, before I added on my topper to the bottomer. So there is that one done. I love that. I love that you can see that through the vellum pocket. It comes out easily, goes in easily, and you want it snug, but not too snug, because it's going to be hard to get it in and out if you get it too much wider than this. Remember, you've got tape holding this vellum pocket down. Now, if you do stitching, especially zigzag stitching, stay as close to the edge as you possibly can so that you have more space as a pocket on the inside. See? Okay, so there is that type of pocket done. Now, for the folded over type, easy, easy, easy. Now, I like starting with a full book page. So I'm going to put this over here so you can see it. And let's start with a full book page, and I'm just going to barely tear off a little on the edge just to get me a rough edge on this side too. And I guess I could do it. Let's see what this kind of rough edge would look like. I like that. Let's see if it cooperates though. Be still. Oh, it's good. That's good. Yep, I like that. Got me a rough edge. Now, all we're going to do, I'm folding up at the bottom first. Okay, like that. And you can either tear off this and fold up, you know, make a shorter pocket, or you can fold up like this and you can decorate more on the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. With this one, I did cut off this bottom empty spot, and you see more of the writing on the bottom on that one. Okay, then you're going to fold in just as much as you want to fold in. No measuring. Don't worry about measuring, just fold it in. So I'm just folding in till I see some writing, and then look at it, see if that's too slim or too wide or whatever. So this one's going to be skinnier than this one, and I'm fine with that. So I'm going to open it back up. These little rectangles that we've created with the folding, I'm going to come to the point there and to the point there at just an angle, slight angle on both sides. So come to the point there and to the point there. Okay, so you have this little tab at the bottom you've created. And then you have your sides, so you're going to fold those in, and then your bottom flap is going to fold up like that. Okay, you can do it the other way if you want to. I just like that bottom flap on the outside for whatever reason. It's just my taste. Okay, now you are going to figure out, do you like it like this, or do you want it a little shorter? And I want it shorter, so I'm going to do about right there. So I'm just going to get my tear ruler, and while it's still folded, I'm just going to tear it like that. Now, we can make another small one out of this if we want to later. Okay, so there is the base of my folded over pocket. Now I'm going to go through and ink all of this that's going to show on the outside. So all of your little folds, ink those, and your sides that's going to be folded over to the front, ink those. Okay, and then ink the top, but you need to remember that especially if you're going to glue all of this down in your journal, that the back's not going to be shown, so we need to ink this inside here. Okay, so then you look and make sure that you've got all sides inked that's going to show. Then you go down your folds on either side. All sides, I guess I should say. Okay, so now everything's inked. And now you're going to add your vellum. Now your vellum on these does not have to be that wide at all. As long as the vellum is behind your two pieces here, that's as wide as you need it. But you can make it as wide as you would like, as long as it fits in to this spot here and doesn't go over your fold lines, any of the three places. Okay, so I'm going to go from here to here, and I'm just going to tear because, like I said, this edge is not going to be seen. It's going to be back behind this. And then I'm going to tear again, and then I can shape it up as needed. Okay, so I've got a little bitty piece down here that's going over that fold line, so I'm just going to come in here, kind of whack that off, and then I need it a little shorter, so I'm just going to go across and cut that off. Then I'm going to fold them over and make sure that everything is nice and secure, and it is. So I'm thinking I might want to trim these sides down just a little bit, because a lot of my pocket is being hidden. So no issue whatsoever. Just come in here and trim those side folds one more time and get it how you want it. Just ink them again once you get it how you like. Okay, see, I think that's going to be better. Like that and like that, and yes, you can see more of the pocket. So I'm good with that, even though I did like the wonky edges a little bit more than these kind of pristine edges that I got the second time cutting down those side panels, but I'm okay. I will survive. It'd be alright. Okay, now what I want to do as far as a notch at the top, I want to just do some crazy tearing and come a little low there and then come up like that. Yep, I love that. And then I'm going to ink just the top of my vellum pocket, just the top, and I'm not worrying about having an exact notch. Okay, then I'm going to come in here with a little bit of liquid glue. Now, if you do not like how liquid glue looks when you put it down and it shows through the pages, I use liquid glue on this one and I cannot see those wet lines anymore. So I'm good with using this. I'm going to come in just on the edge of the vellum, put just a small little line. You don't need much at all of glue there. And since this edge is going to be on top, I can leave it for last. Okay, and then I'm going to come across the book page on both sides a little bit, and then just straight across the vellum. And then I'm going to put just a little line a couple of 3 lines on the bottom just to keep, ooh, the light, sorry, there you go, just to keep this bottom flap in place where it should be. You can also make this part not put glue there and make that part a little tuck there too, and then have yourself a pocket there. So these remind me of the, well, they're, I mean, pretty much the same as those patchwork pockets we made with Scrapbusters quite a few months ago, where we put the scraps of paper in here instead of a vellum. So that reminds me of that a lot. Let's decorate this, and you can sew the edges, but like I said, you need to go as far to the edge as you possibly can with your stitching when you do that. I think I'm going to get my brown marker, and I'm just going to do some little faux stitch lines. Y'all remember these? We used to do these little faux stitch lines on everything. All of our crafting had the faux stitch lines. That's before we gave ourselves permission to actually use a sewing machine on our scrapbook pages and journals and stuff. We just did faux stitching, you know, because it was taboo to actually use a sewing machine on stuff. Nowadays, everybody uses sewing machines on everything. So I like that, just a few little faux stitch lines there. Now we've got quite a bit of room to decorate here. Okay, I found some lace trim that I want to add on here, and I'm going to trim this like that so it kind of matches on both sides. And then I found just a little piece of scrapbook paper, a little scrap piece, ink the edges of it, and I'm going to put down my lace piece, just a little line of Fabrifix, and then get my messy rag, and then I'm going to put this down, and I'm just going to put it down on 3 sides, leave that top open. And that way, if I want to use it as a tiny little tuck later, I can. I like that. And then let's add a flower or something on there. Okay, I found a little rose piece. I think that was from a bag that Miss Betty Ann Renfro had sent to me. I've got some thread here. I'm just going to wad it up like so. I think maybe up here, maybe. I like it a little better. So I want to ink the edges of my little floral piece because it's very, very white, the background on it. So let's dirty that up quite a bit. I'm just going to put a few little drops of glue down there, and then some for the flower piece. And that's how I put down my thread usually. And then some of that glue will catch it, and it'll be fine like that, and it won't unravel. Most of the time it won't unravel. If you want to add a little bit more on the back side, and then just kind of blot your rag down, it sticks quite well. So there's the decoration for the front of that one, and then we can even add this little piece here in that little tuck that we made on the front, and then let's add some pieces in the pocket. I think these are too big. Nope, they fit quite well. A few more little pieces. I think I need to ink those. These came also from the fabulous Betty Ann Renfro. Let's ink these a little bit. These are from the giveaway I had, free digital giveaway for when I reach 15,000 subscribers. That is on, you will find that sheet of freebies on my Buy Me a Coffee website. Very cute. Thank you so much, Betty Ann. Love, love, love that. Very cute. I adore these pockets. I really love making them. I love making both, so I can't pick a favorite style because I love making both of them. What do y'all think? Are y'all going to make these? And of course, you don't even have to use book page. You can use regular scrapbook paper to make these. For this one, if I did this tiny one and just barely fold it up some on the bottom, and then tore more off the edges here. This one's going to be a tiny one. And then cut out my bottom squares. Let's see. Oh, that one will be cute. Let's see if we've got some vellum that we won't have to cut too much of. Let's do it right here. See if I can't cut a halfway straight line maybe. Look at that, how easily that one came together. And I think I want to do just like I did on that one. I love that torn edge. That is so cute. Let's just do that again. Let's go real deep there and then come up again. And ink our edges just at the top. And then ink all of these edges. I don't know why I'm doing the back side of that one. Remember, Melina, you're not going to see that. Now come around and do the front edge and the bottom. And I'm going to put it together and I'll come back and ink my folds. Let's do a little bit of glue down the edge on the sides, fold over. I love it already. And then there and all the way across. And fold up. So see, there you have wording on the bottom, and it is upside down. So if you do not like that, then you'll have to figure out a different way of doing that, or just completely cover it up. That works. Okay, and then ink my edges there. There's one that came together really quickly, and it was just a scrap. So that was a scrap buster, y'all, I did for you in this video. Now let's do one more of these, I think, and then we can call it done. I love this. Let's trim off that bottom a little bit. Let's do this side. Okay, and let's cut a piece of vellum, and I think I want to tear it. That will work. Okay, let's tear across a little bit more. Tear down. Okay, ooh, I like that. Okay, and then I need to tear this side, just small little tear, so that all the sides are torn. And then I need to tear the bottom. So just kind of go straight across, or try to, with a tear. I like that. It's wonky, just my style. Okay, I'm going to ink the edges of my vellum, and then I'm going to sew this one, and I'll be right back. Let me ink all the edges of this torn vellum. I love how that looks. Looks like burnt paper with that walnut stain. Beautiful. And I will come in and ink the rest of that in a minute. I'm going to barely tape down the edges just so I'm not struggling at the sewing machine. Just put a little bitty line down and go ahead and place this down, and that way I can use that as my guidelines for when I'm sewing it. I love that already. And I think I might come off the edge a little bit with my sewing. my zigzag. Instead of coming inside like I did on this one, I might come off the edge a little bit. Let's see how it looks. Okay, there we are. I've got some stitching that got caught. I'm going to trim that. Let's trim it down a little bit more. Okay. I love that. I love how wonky it is. And that it's not perfect. I love it, I love it, I love it. And I went around it twice. So I did like the number 1, so I just barely did a zigzag. And then I went to number, I think, like 3.5 and did a deeper zigzag all the way around it. So it's stitched twice. You can see it better on that side. And it is ready for decoration and adding things to it. We need to decorate these two, don't we? So with this one, it will not need much at all. So I was thinking that with just a little flower stem or something coming out of the top of it. Okay, so I found something a little prettier for this one. Look at these birds on the branch. So I'm going to cut the other bird off. Sorry, birdie. And then have this coming out from the edge, and maybe even have its little beak over the top of the pocket. Is that not cute? I love that. I need to straighten this up just a little bit. Have me a straight edge. Too pretty. And then I'm going to put some glue at just a few spots, and don't need to come up too far on that beak there. Let's pop it up just a little further. I love that. And have a couple of little Tracy Fox numbers at the bottom, kind of like a specimen card. That's cute. Let's do 87. Do my 7 here. And my 8 kind of wonky beside it. I like that. Very pretty. And then of course we need to add some stuff to the pocket itself. Don't know that I've got too many pieces that will fit without cutting something, but there's some coffee dyed paper that's cut in little 2-inch squares that will probably work. Yep, that works. Add that in there. Cute. Alright, and then this one, as far as the decorating goes, let's add some collage paper, and I'm just going to get a scrap piece here and use my glue stick if I can get the top off. And just go down the back side of that collage paper. And I really want that London spot showing, so I'll do more decoration on this side so I can let that show. Maybe add that piece there. Let's not waste it. We cut it, so let's just put it on. Let's add some of this music paper and not cover up our London. Let's ink the bottom and then go ahead and ink the top too, since both will be seen, and then we can tear off any excess. So I'm just going to go in with my liquid glue the very bottom of this. Okay, we don't have to tear off anything because it doesn't go all the way to the edge. That's good. And that works. I like that. You can still see the stitching. And then let's add a little element there to the edge. Nothing too big. I haven't used any butterflies. That one does stand out quite a bit, but I think if I can find a number strip in here that might have a little bit of blue in it, maybe that'll blend it in. I like that. That little number strip has a little blue hint to it. And I don't think I'm even going to ink that one. I think I will just ink the white edges of my butterfly. And let's go ahead and glue that down. And then angle our butterfly off the other way without covering up our words. Okay, and I'm going to cut out these cut-aparts and slide those in that pocket. Ink the edges. I love library cards. It's like my favorite ephemera ever. Probably because I love reading. I don't have time to read anymore, but I do love reading. And library cards are just one of my favorite pieces to add as ephemera. I'm just going to add both of them on top of that one. And stick that one up a little bit higher. Have this one off. Love that. So here are the pockets that I finished. Here are the fold over ones, and here are just the tape down ones. I'm going to try to get them all in frame for you. Probably will have to move that one up since it's a tall one to go all the way across. Here we go. There they all are. So fold over ones, and then we have just stitched on vellum pocket ones. And I love how these turned out. I hope that you make some and tag me in it, Melina Pylant or Me Crafty Scrapper, either one, here on YouTube or on Instagram. And I will try my best to leave you some love. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye, y'all.